daughter, and so he is out this week. And so if you happen to have any, let him know you're thinking about him. I think he would appreciate that. So just wanted to let you guys know of that as well. Outside of that, I think that we are good. So let's get into it today. I want to talk a little bit about the 7 golden rules of crypto investing. The 7 golden rules of crypto investing. Plus, if we have enough time, I'll give you a bonus tip that most people ignore as well. So it'd be a good time to grab your success journals, write these down, because these will be excellent points of reference as you're having conversations with your prospects. So first of all, let's be real. Most people up to this point lose money in crypto, not necessarily because it's a scam. I mean, there are some scams that are out there, but they just haven't learned the rules of how to invest wisely. Now, I use the word invest broadly, generally, when it comes to Trusted Smart Chain. We're not selling investments, we're selling software, but I just have to throw that out there. This is a general statement. But because they've never learned how to invest wisely, they often chase the hype. They buy emotionally. They don't understand what they own, which it's mind-boggling to me in some of the previous projects that we've been a part of, how many people bought and had no idea, what they even owned or even how to manage the asset. And so my goal is to end that today. And I'm going to walk you through 7 golden rules that every single investor should live by. And these are the same rules that I now follow and the same ones that we teach here within Trusted Society and our global community of node operators and early adopters that are focused on building wealth here at the Trusted Smart Chain. So here we go. Let's get into it. I'm going to pause after each session because I know we've got some great minds that are here that'll add value as well. So I want to invite you to participate. But the first one here is may seem like a no-brainer, but never invest more than you can afford to lose, right? It's real. Crypto is volatile. It's not a reason to avoid it, by the way. It's a reason to respect it. So the first one again is never invest more than you can afford to lose. Crypto is volatile, but it's not a reason to avoid it. It's a reason to respect it. And if you're up at night sweating your portfolio, you're doing it wrong. The smart approach is to invest from strength, not from desperation. Invest from strength, not from desperation. I love Steve's philosophy, which is, look, especially if you're an affiliate here at TSC, you're going to make the short-term money by going out and sharing this amazing opportunity with others, right? It's that, if you're relying on your portfolio and your nodes or even the tokens, and you're desperately hoping that it's going to go up by next week, you're in a tough situation, right? We're not trying to get rich overnight. We're building generational wealth through smart positioning. And I can't stress that enough here at Trusted Smart Chain. We are not a get rich overnight scheme. We're building generational, let me rephrase that. We're potentially building generational wealth through smart positioning. Use that. Should be your favorite word, affiliates. Potential. So that's number 1. Any thoughts there at all before I go on to number 2?
Would you repeat the phrase right after you said never invest more than you can afford to lose? What was right after that?
Crypto is volatile. That's not a reason to avoid it. It's a reason to respect it.
Thank you.
You bet. So we're not trying to get rich overnight. We're focused on building generational wealth through smart positioning. Rule number 2, understand what you're getting involved with, what you're investing in. You wouldn't go buy a rental property without knowing where it is, who's managing it, or how it cash flows. So the same goes for cryptocurrency. And there's some things that you need to know. Number 1, what the project even does. Like, what is the project? Is there any purpose? Is there any utility? Is there any, are they solving any problems? What does the project do, right? That would be number 1. Number 2, who's behind it? Right? Is there a team? Is there developers? Is there experienced individuals that are focused on the utility side of things, such as the team over at T7X? What makes it sustainable? What really is going to, keep this project going 5 to 10 years from now? And I think that we can all very easily answer that question with what we're doing on the Trusted Smart Chain and working congruently with the guys over at T7X. So what makes it sustainable? That's why Trusted Smart Chain isn't just another project. It's infrastructure. We're not selling coins. We are building the highway for tokenized real world assets. It's a big difference. Such a big difference. Most of the node projects I've encountered, they're really focused on just selling their coin. We're building the highway for tokenizing real world assets. I'm talking about commodities and real estate and, you know, hotels and commercial properties, you name it. And that matters because when you understand what you're actually getting involved with, you can approach it from a place of confidence. So again, that's rule number 2, understanding what you are investing in, understanding what you're getting involved with. Any thoughts, questions? Anybody want to add anything here?
No, that's great. It's called due diligence. The more you do,
Right.
the more you're not going to get surprised down the road.
DYOR, right, Frank?
That's
Do
right.
your own research. Number 3, and this kind of ties into number 2, which is focus on long-term value, not short-term hype. I see a lot of promotion out there on social media, and it's really short-term hype, artificially inflated tokens that have been manipulated short-term, meme coins, flash pumps. It's all noise. The real money is in the infrastructure. Just like the early days of the internet, those who owned the rails and the routers, not just the websites, built empires. I'm going to say that again. Those who owned the rails and the routers, back in the day during, internet days, right? Early days of the internet, those who owned the rails and the routers, not just the websites, built empires. And with TSC, our community owns the nodes. These validate transactions and power the chain every time an asset's tokenized or a smart contract is executed. So you're not just betting on a coin mooning. And that is the biggest difference. It's our flex. It's the biggest difference between us and every time that somebody comes to me and says, have you heard about this project or you heard about this one? We're not just betting on some coin mooning. We're earning daily rewards by being a part of the foundation. Thoughts, comments? Anybody want to add anything there? Rule number 3. Okay. Rule number 4, diversify, but don't overextend. Diversify, but don't overextend. Diversification isn't about owning a little bit of every single thing that's out there. And I would say the same about opportunities. I hear people all the time, you want to be diversified, you want to be diversified. And they use this to try and recruit people into this opportunity or that opportunity. And the reality is, yes, you want to be diversified, but go build one thing first and make it successful before you go out onto it. Because when you go try to spin a bunch of plates and you chase a bunch of rabbits, you catch none of them, right? So diversification isn't about owning a little of everything. It's about having a strategy. And strategies, they can be different depending on what is important to you. Some Bitcoin or Ethereum for security might be a good idea, something that you might want to consider. Some altcoins with utility, something that you might want to consider. And a percentage in node infrastructure like TSE that essentially allows you to be able to earn daily digital rewards while the network grows. So Trusted Smart Chain was designed for this. You're not just speculating, you're participating in the blockchain economy. Do you guys realize that's what you're doing? You guys realize that here? You are not just speculating, you are participating in the blockchain economy of what we're building. That's golden. Rule number 5, secure your assets. Got to secure your assets. This one's huge. If it's not in your wallet, you don't hold the keys, it's not truly yours. And inside of Trusted Society and here at Trusted Smart Chain, our focus is to reinforce some pretty important philosophies, some guidelines, some rules. Number 1, make sure that you hold the keys to your wallet, which is why we built the Prosper wallet. So use hardware wallets or essentially even make sure that you hold the keys. Set up secure accounts. Protect your rewards with proper hosting and even cold storage solutions. One thing that I love about what we have done that is, in my opinion, a huge, unique selling proposition is that our wallets are insured. I don't know of any other project that your actual tokens are insured.
The wallets in T7X.
And T7X, sorry, pardon me. On the other side.
T7S wallets in T7X.
T7X. Thank you, Billy. I think that's huge. So it's not enough to earn crypto. You need to know how to safeguard it. And we'll be continuing to have more and more education and discussions about that. Rule number 6. I think it's good to take profits strategically. You know, this is the step that most people skip and they often regret it. You know, I think that set some benchmarks along the way, and then maybe pull some rewards from time to time, you know, that allow you to be able to get into some other projects or potentially get into some more nodes down the road or whatever the case might be. Now, I think that many or most here understand that, you know, the long-term value essentially comes from the demand that we create through the real world assets. And so, but, you know, I have some numbers in my mind of where it might be interesting to, well, I'll tell you this, I won't ever sell my token. I'll just borrow against it, but, you know, take some profits along the way. It's how you multiply, not just stack. And taking profits without losing position, it's an art and a discipline. And I think that, you know, the bank that we are acquiring and essentially launching is going to create a really great situation for those of us that are accumulating TSC token in the long run. Any thoughts here, Billy, at all you want to add to us?
Doing well, buddy.
Thank you. Okay, number 7, stay educated and adaptable. Crypto changes so fast. You know, Lori was talking about JP Morgan this morning, and I was sitting here thinking about a talk that it was 2019 that the head of JP Morgan gave. It was actually a news conference that he gave where he told everybody that cryptocurrency was a flat out fraud. 2019, this is 6 years ago. And JP Morgan today is on chain and they are out there. Same with Goldman Sachs. So crypto changes fast. And we can't even rely on 2021 thinking anymore. That's why ultimately we created Trusted Smart Chain and Trusted Society, because it's not just a platform. We're not just selling nodes. We're building a community of learners and builders. You know, that's why we do Zoom trainings. We break down tokenomics. We bring in experts. We share the plays in real time. I mean, this is what it's all about, right? We're as transparent as we possibly can be to let you guys know what's happening, because we don't know everything. You don't know everything, but you do need to stay in the room. You don't know everything, but you do need to stay in the room. And I love this community for that reason. You guys are the most loyal, plugged in, and I'd be willing to bet the biggest believers in the community as a result of that. And final rule is number 8. This is the bonus rule and this kind of goes without saying, but it's the infrastructure, not just the coins, right? You want smart money always invests in the infrastructure, not just the coins. Let me drive this one home here, because the people who get wealthy in gold rushes aren't always the ones mining gold. Am I right? Who is it? It's not the ones that are always mining the gold. It's the people selling the shovels. Trusted Smart Chain's a layer 1 blockchain that tokenizes real world assets. Every asset that moves through our chain, oil, it could be gold, real estate, data. It needs a place to live. That's what our nodes do. You bring these token projects to life. And that's why our node operators, they earn these daily rewards. It's backed by real utility, not just hype. You're not gambling here. You're owning the digital land, the new frontier, the new financial system that it's being built on. That's what I love. And to me, these 8 rules aren't optional. They're the difference between tourists and titans in this space. Let's see what I did there, Billy. That was a good one, right? The difference between tourists and titans. Somebody have something they wanted to add there?
Yeah, Travis, I've got one thing I'd like to add. Number
Please.
1, I think these rules, all 8 of them, are pure gold, and this needs to be, obviously you got it recorded, but it needs to go out and promoted to the team. It needs to be one of those things that is available in a library format where anybody, for those that come on 3 months from now, they could access it. But I would just add one little bullet point in there somewhere, and maybe it goes under number 1, and that is, and I think this is a healthy mindset you need to embrace in those that you bring into the community, and that's this: crypto is volatile. Okay, there are going to be massive swings up and down, and if you go back to your investing from strength, and you're taking your positions in tokens from a position of strength, you don't worry about the ups and downs. It's up 40%. So what? Okay, it's down 40%. So what? But that's an 80% swing in 2 days. So what? Okay. The reason we invest in not for we buy tokens. What is it? Not for price, but for tomorrow's value.
That's right.
You got the long-term vision in mind, and just tell me, look, it's massive swings. I got this one guy that he tells me every time something goes up or down. So what? I mean, it doesn't matter. Okay, big deal. Yeah, I know you're used to getting 6% a year, but that's not this game. That's a different game. And I just think that's a healthy mindset to embrace the volatility and just know it's part of the game. It's part of the game.
I put 1A, crypto is volatile, zoom out. It's a good one to add. I appreciate that, Steve. Very good.
There you go. Yep.
And by the way, we are recording this. This will be uploaded to YouTube, and we'll make this available. These 8 rules, they are optional, right? They're the difference between the tourist and the titans. It's about ownership of your money, ownership of your future, ownership of the financial revolution and the economic shift that's happening in the world of finance right now, with or without you, might I add. It's going to happen with or without you. So we built Trusted Smart Chain for people who are ready to stop watching, start participating. And if that's you and you want to learn more about our nodes, our strategy, and how we're building wealth together, man, you're in a good place. This is a good place to do it. Get plugged into Trusted Society, right? We all many of us, not all of us, but maybe, most of us missed the internet in 2000, social media in 2010, Bitcoin right around the same time. So don't miss this infrastructure this time. So with that is all I have for today.